be a relief. Welcome back, comrade. Did you destroy the machine? Good. Good. I couldn't leave until I knew. You did well, comrade. Better than Morgaine and I, at any rate. You would have liked her, I think. Here's your pay. The Fighters Guild and all of Blackwood, thank you for your efforts. I think I'll just sit here for a bit longer. I'd say we earned a sit-down. Eh, comrade? I'm fine, Wayfarer. Fine. Just a little winded is all. I'll make my way to Gideon soon. Yes, I'm sure. Take care of yourself, comrade. And if anyone asks you what happened here, you tell them that Morgaine and Kud Af Hadaja did their duty. Do that for me, all right? I couldn't say. Dagon wants to kill us all, right? Grandi Bramia used to tell me stories about great red siegecraft, dragged by giants with lava for blood. Never thought Mephala had an interest in conquest. But who knows? No one ever makes just one of anything. I hope this was the last of these machines, but you need to keep your eyes fixed on this. Don't forget what you saw in there. Morgaine and I were new to Blackwood. This was the only one we encountered. But people in Leyawen insisted there are more. Some craft of the Longhouse Emperors. If more exist, I hope you do the same to them.
Never have enough of that. Let's ride!
But what if we are wrong? Not even my strength can hold back an entire brigade.
Just stay out of it, Himjas. We have lost too many lives already. Yours need not be included.
Ah, you look strong and capable. I could use your help. Tensions between my tribe and the Imperials who've set up camp nearby are close to a breaking point. While I often solve issues with my Wamasu-like strength, I fear it will not be enough here. Members of my tribe have gone missing. We captured an Imperial lieutenant to question him about it, but everyone is so angry already. If my tribe executes him before we actually get to the bottom of this, it will only make things worse. What this situation needs is an outsider's perspective. My people are too enraged to think clearly, and the lieutenant will not talk to us anyway. We need... I am sure our combined heroism will save my tribe from this plight. The Imperial Lieutenant is just ahead. While you speak with him, I will head to the northern swamps to continue investigating. Meet me there when you are finished. Ah, that was Oleg, a member of the tribe and a good friend. He is adamant that the Imperials are responsible for our missing people, but does not think I should involve myself. His opinion is shared by many, sadly. My heroic deeds have caused a few mishaps of late. In addition, everyone is convinced of the Imperials' guilt. But an intelligent, seasoned adventurer such as myself is more skeptical. Mainly because we, have no evidence. No idea, but hopefully speaking with the lieutenant will shed some light on that. If his people are innocent, then he might help guide us to the real enemy. And if they are not, then I will strike them down with the power of a grot oak. The Imperials from Leowin have been expanding their territory eastward for some time. Now they creep like moss on the edges of what my tribe considers our land. At first, they were just a nuisance. We assumed the swamp would deal with them in time. No, just the opposite. They wished to work with us to help expand their holdings and offered valuable goods in trade. But my tribe turned their tails at them. Too many times our people have been pushed from our homes with fake promises. The Imperials left us alone, but refused to leave the area. Eventually, tension turned to arguments. Shortly after, members of our tribe began to vanish. It was like flame to a dried tree.
We told
You're the
Helios
hero
to
who
stop
made Strahl
trying to
pay for the
recruit
deaths of
strangers
Dasha
for
Hill and
this.
Belrond.
He will not listen.
Prowlers are dangerous adversaries. Better to live with them than to make them enemies. The puzzle there involves figuring out how to live with them.
I don't know why Himjas attempts to find help to absolve the Imperials of their obvious guilt. He showed up a month ago and has insisted on performing heroic acts, despite our insistence that we have no need for them.
After we punish this Imperial, I shall claim his shoes as my own. What? They are finally made.
These Imperials show up and suddenly our people go missing. Hist, take me. This is no coincidence. If you're here to help, you should kill this dry skin outright.
To Bella's sacred buttocks, am I glad to see someone that's not part of this tribe. Maybe you can do something. I've tried telling these lizards that my soldiers have nothing to do with their disappearing people, but they won't listen. I'm an officer in Leowin's Ivory Brigade. We've been trying to expand trade routes out here, but we're not kidnapping people. My brigadines are missing too. I was pursuing a lead to find them when I got ambushed and thrown in this cage. I was investigating the great number of beasts that have started congregating by the water's edge. It's like they've taken over. Nothing about it seems natural. My theory is that those monsters are responsible for our missing people. They're vicious, and the sheer number of them all at once is undoubtedly lethal. But my commander's skeptical. He thinks the Argonians are retaliating for us getting too close to their territory. And if he gets wind of this, he'll respond in kind.
I understand that Himjas asked for your help, but he can be overzealous. We have the situation under control. Our prisoner feigns ignorance, but he does not tell the whole truth. This dry skin was found trespassing in our swamps to the north. Always excuses with these Imperials. First, they show up claiming to seek trade. When we ask that they leave, they camp near our borders, and more arrive each day against our wishes. Suddenly, our people go missing. This is no coincidence. I wish I knew. There is a supposed peace between my people and the Imperials. Keshu the Blackfin ensures that. But that does not mean some do not still break rank, especially if they want to lay claim on a new land. But why not just attack us? Himjas is enthusiastic to a fault. He thinks himself a hero, but usually just ends up getting himself into more trouble. This is no different. If you insist on helping, then I suggest you drag him out of the northern swamps before he hurts himself.
There you are. This is where our investigation begins. Let us look around.
Something you need, partner.
There are footprints ahead, toward the water. This is where I gallantly apprehended the lieutenant. We are on the right track. Let us continue. These ancient totems are spread out across the swamp, but they are always dormant. Strange. I think there are more farther ahead. I wonder if they are active as well. Let us hurry. We need to look around for any sign of my missing people and what might have happened to them. And not to worry. If we run into any trouble, my quick reflexes will save us. Argonians and Imperials. It looks like they were fighting.
Get back, you fetcher!
Defending themselves. Their wounds are jagged too. Perhaps we will find survivors farther up this way. We use this dye for rituals. Is this what woke those totems? Let us follow the footprints.
I never used to fight this much, until I met you.
This is the largest of those totems I mentioned earlier. Oh no. I think I understand. These totems, the dye was used to paint runes upon them, which must have activated their latent magic. But those runes are only known to this tribe. The Imperials could not have done this. It had to be one of our own. With these runes, whoever is responsible turned this totem and the others into very powerful lures. That explains the excess of creatures coming out of the swamp. They would be drawn out in droves by this kind of magic. I do not know. It is incredibly dangerous, even with someone as skillful as me protecting the tribe. These creatures do not discriminate who they hunt. We need to stop this. I am not sure. My brute strength and fortitude do not lend themselves easily to the inner workings of tribe magic. But perhaps fortitude is all we need. Let us try smashing it. You go first. I will save my strength in case we have need of it. Ah! Despite my yelping, I was not afraid, I assure you. There is no shame in being frightened, of course. If you are alarmed, do not worry. You are safe with me. Anyway, that was a great effort on your part. But perhaps hitting it is not enough. This is now beyond my capability. I believe the magic of these totems and the secret to destroying them would be known by the elder of my tribe, Nahish Nurwal. I think we need to speak to her if we are to learn anything more. She should be back in the village. I will head there first and explain the situation, but I believe you should speak with her as well. Nahish Nurwal, does not always take my counsel. I will meet you there. I will return and speak to Nahish Nurwal. Meet me there when you can.
I don't want to hurt you, but now I'm going to. Nice hole. Maybe I should have joined the buoyant armigers. Tired of walking anyway. Tired of walking anyway. Nice hole.
Bodies of Imperials and our own?
Yes, fighting together, and their wounds were jagged, as if they were from mighty beasts.
Himjas, if this is another story, Nahish Nurwal, I will go verify the truth of this claim.
I appreciate your willingness to help, outsider. But you must understand, Heem Jas has a strong heart, but he often invents problems in order to test his heroism. This matter with the Imperials is likely simpler than he insists. What? This is a very serious accusation. The idea that one of our own caused so much pain, it is as hard to chew as thick bark. Is what Heem Jas said about the bodies true? Please, tell me all that you know. The creatures in the swamp are incredibly vicious, even in small doses. It's no wonder so many have fallen prey. It seems our prisoner was not lying to us. Those totems are ancient and very powerful. Meddling with them is quite dangerous. The one at the top of Zal Aristotle? I'm not surprised. Dismantling lures as powerful as this will require going inside the Zanmir. Unfortunately, as time abandoned Zal Aristotle, its depths filled with nightmarish horrors. We have no choice but to venture inside the Zanmir, but we do not have enough people to do so safely. We have lost too many of our warriors. You are here as a mediator. Perhaps you could convince the Imperials to assist us in this matter. Good. Hopefully he will be willing to appeal to his superiors. Regardless, I will make sure he is freed. Take this. It is a ward that will unlock the main entrance of Zal Aristotle. I will gather as many warriors as I can, and meet you there.
Gods, this can't be happening. I heard what was discussed. I can hardly believe it. They were so quick to pin the blame on us, and the whole time it was one of their own people? I suppose it doesn't matter now. We've all lost friends. What we need to do is fix this. The Ivory Brigade is far from petty. I'm sure there will be some who are unhappy about it, but even they will understand the need to work together in order to stop this. I'll speak with my commander if I'm free to go. I'm sure I can convince him.
My apologies on behalf of my tribe, Lieutenant. Let us get you out of there.
I will meet you at the ruins.
I'll go talk to my commander. Once we put an end to this threat, then we can turn our attention to improving this relationship between our people.
Time to make things right, and figure out who was behind this. Let us head to the Zanmir. There is no time to waste.
Floods remind us of what?
The entrance to Zal Aristotle should be along the bottom of the structure. Let us hurry. There, the door. It is quite dark in here. Why don't you lead?
Curse you, relics. Why will you not stop?
Oleg, you did this?
Hinjas, I am sorry. I cannot disable the lures, no matter how hard I try. My touch causes them to fade, yet they return within seconds. When I take my axe to the stone, my blade only dulls. I blame the Imperials for our missing people. I was a fool. I was trying to protect my people. Too many times dryskins have come to our swamps in an attempt to claim them. These Imperials seemed no different. I hoped to frighten them. I activated the totems to try and chase them off. Yes, our people once used them as a means to gather food and resources. When the totem is active, creatures are drawn to its aura like a Kotugava to blood. I did not know how dangerous this ancient magic truly was. I did not understand my actions were the cause of all this. Not until I heard about the bodies you and Himjas found. And once I realized, it was already too late. Yes, but it is impossible. Nothing I do works. The magic replenishes itself within mere moments. I am truly sorry. We should evacuate our people to Gideon before Hutanzel is overrun.
Help is here, my friend. Let us begin.
Nahish Nurwul. And the Imperials? I'm sorry. This is my fault.
The time for blame can come later. We're here to help.
There might be hope yet. Speak with Nahish Nurwul. It looks like she found help after all.
Oleg's actions were foolish. These lures have lain dormant for a reason. The magic within them is dangerous. Still, the actions of the past cannot change the present. What is done cannot be undone. But we can ensure that no one else gets hurt. A ritual. To dismantle the lures, they must be touched above ground and below within a few moments of one another. It requires an act of unison. Perhaps it is a test from those that came before us. A lesson of sorts. Now it falls to us to learn it. The Imperials agreed to post their soldiers above ground. They're already in position and awaiting orders. Once you activate a lure below, its partner above the surface will flicker, signaling the Imperials to act. Do you understand? I will return above to coordinate our efforts. If something were to go wrong, I want to be able to help remedy it. You and Himjas must dismantle the lures down here and rejoin us when you are finished. Good luck to you, outsider. And thank you.
Thank you.
We will fix this, Oleg. Do not worry. I think it is working.
Would it kill them to run away? Well, no, I guess it wouldn't. Maybe they should try that.
It seems the Imperials up above are succeeding as well.
You lead. I think I'm getting good at
That
this.
was the last one.
Probably shouldn't
Now
have
I
heard
will
that.
make a swift, daring exit and run back to the village. Meet you there.
You have my thanks, Lieutenant, as well as my tribe's friendship.
Thank you. I assure you, we will do everything in our power to make sure this is the start of a prosperous friendship between our people.
A great success. We are victorious and strong, and all
I don't
mostly
suppose you have
intact.
anything to cook.
The totems have fallen silent above ground. I assume you and Him Jas were also successful from below. The beasts should move on now. I do not think they will trouble us any more than they did before all this. We will all be safe. In large part because of your efforts, we were able to find common ground and the desire to communicate. I have personally apologized for our responsibility for the bloodshed, and they have been gracious enough to accept my sincerity. Olik was trying to protect his people, and we understand that. But his actions cost lives on both sides, and for that he must be punished. It pains me, but it is necessary. Olik understands, and he will face his punishment bravely. You have my enduring gratitude, traveler. Should your adventures ever bring you this way again, know that you may call us allies. I think Him Jas was looking for you. Be sure to say your farewells to him before you continue your journey.
My gratitude is overflowing, like a swollen river. If not for you, there would have been many more deaths. My punishment awaits me, though I do not know if it will ever feel like enough for all the hurt I caused.
Thank you for your part in this. Our intention was never to frighten the citizens here, but we did not listen to them when they expressed their concerns. We simply went about our business. This is just as much our fault.
The tribe will be telling stories of this for many years to come, I am sure. The mighty Him Jas, with his faithful partner, slashing through horrors in the darkness of ancient ruins without a shred of fear. Thank you for your help, friend. The tribe will flourish now that we are no longer fighting with the Imperials. As for me, I will continue performing heroic deeds across the coast. Great heroes like us never stay in one place too long. Please, take this. Not only did you fight bravely, but you ensured a truce between my tribe and the Imperials. You saved many lives today. I will make sure no one leaves you out of the grand stories of our heroism. We did it, friend. We fearlessly pursued the truth, cut through our foes with Wamasu-like strength, bested our enemies, and came out victorious. And I did not get terribly injured. This is a great day. No, though I imagine some will be. I happen to understand what it is like to be impulsive and overconfident at times. I see why he did it, and in my heart, I know I can forgive him. Whether he can forgive himself is a different matter. That I am not sure. But the fact that they put aside their grief and anger in order to help us in the ruins makes me believe that they understand better than I would have anticipated. I hope they forgive him, and that relations between us flourish.
Much better. Thanks. I was feeling that. You can make it. Keep moving. There is an aura of death about you. A quite dour and pervasive one at that. It's a good thing we found each other. I can patch you up in no time. Just need to identify the source of your spiritual malaise. That may be so, but I've learned that spirits are crafty, and calling on them is often necessary. As my mentor, ghost hunting expert Claudina Ildane would say, it's healthy to set boundaries in relationships, especially with the dead. Well, the next step is complicated. I need to identify the spiritual passenger you are dealing with. Have you been in any locations rife with death lately? A terrifying cave, or a haunted ruin? A forsaken forest, perhaps? The ghosts of civilization are almost always riddled with spirits stuck remembering their old lives. Some are malicious, some are amicable. Did you meet anything specific between the crumbling walls? I thought I sensed something savage about you. Your passenger covets a hunt. Death was not enough to sate their bloodlust, even though the hunt is over. Now on to you. How are you feeling? I believe you are afflicted with the lurking type spirit. These entities wait in lonely places for hosts and avoid detection by settling deep into the recesses of your mind. Shall I begin the cleansing rites? I cast you from this form, spirit. May Azora's light guide you home. Grandmother, you should be resting, not wandering about in the minds of others.
Why must you ruin my fun?
May the spirits leave you in peace. Safe travels.
I admit it's quite a story, but I know the difference between a tall tale and a large problem. I'll help however I can.
I shudder to think what your elven circus would consider far-fetched. I'm not so sure I believe it myself. Got a lot on my mind, stranger. If you're seeking hospitality, these carnival folk are better company than I.
Smoke, ash, and fire. Just like home.
How wonderful to see you again. Have you come to spread the wonders of Nord culture to Farmer's Nook? Or did you leave Rigert behind on this journey? A shame. Boisterousness aside, he can be quite entertaining under the right circumstances. Still, it's good to see you well and still about your travels. I figured you'd have been eaten by a dragon by now. I jest, of course. Don't give me that look.
My, you're as free-roaming as a traveling circus. I wouldn't have expected we'd cross paths on the other side of Tamriel. I would invite you to join us as a guest performer, but our show is cancelled indefinitely. On account of drama, ironically. There's a more sinister mischief in Farmer's Nook than the sort the House of Reveries trades in. I hear of townsfolk disappearing, only to turn up and act oddly. We only set camp recently, but the locals fear we've somehow caused their plight. None. That farmer Hesef said his sister was among the afflicted, and she died recently. At least he thought she died, but she left no corpse. I must clear the troop's name. With the locals wary as they are, though, I need help, and I can pay. Hesef mentioned that two of his neighbors also had loved ones vanish, Braden DeVoe and Jahuz. Speak with them. They may be more open with a less grandiose traveler. You might also speak with Hesef directly, if you wish. Patching things up with my sister was easier than I expected. I should have given her more credit. They say you can never truly know another person, but talking helps. You should pay another visit. Maybe audition for real this time. Sleepy little towns like Farmer's Nook are the most in need of an escape from the mundane. We came to offer them some mirth and mystery, but it appears we've been upstaged. Well, our troop won't be outdone so easily. We have a reputation to uphold. Help, of course. I've devoted my life to liberating people from their troubles, however briefly. And if I can't do that from a stage, then I will take my talents where they are most needed. Have you forgotten already? I may have abandoned joining the Sapiarchy, but I was still a top candidate among many a talented scholar and mage. I don't have your experience as an adventurer, but I'm more suited to unraveling this mystery than most.
So, working with the mummers. They may seem strange, but you're safer resting at their camp than at the inn. Not to say Braden runs a poor establishment, mind. There's just strangeness afoot in our little village. Folk have been going missing of late, including my sister, Seal. Never for long, a few days. Just enough to plant a worry before they wander back as if nothing happened. But something did. They come back different. Like everything's unfamiliar. Weren't her memory. She could recall details down to where she last left the salt, but acted like she'd never tasted it. She'd bring up things I'd long forgotten as if they'd happened yesterday. Started dredging up old hurts we'd put past us long ago. Can't say. Felt like she wanted to relive the past, good and bad. Don't know what would have brought that on. We lead quiet lives now. Happy lives, I thought. Led, I suppose. She's gone now. If it was even her in the first place. Seal led me to our old swimming hole. Hadn't been there in decades. She dove right in like we did as kids. I looked away before she struck the water. She hit hard. When I screwed up the courage to look, just inky black water. She was gone. That's right. Even with that ink in the pool, I could tell her body weren't there. I searched around the swimming hole, too. Nothing. Not so much as a wet footprint, or even more of that vile ink, like she'd vanished. A lot from our childhood, mostly. If our parents were around, they were deep in the skooma, so Seal and I had to look out for each other. Not so much anymore. The years have been peaceful here. I suppose we'd grown distant before she vanished. No. Maybe. We'd sit down for meals together and tend the farm together, but there's not much to talk about in Farmer's Nook. Another field planted, another day gone by. Was she trying to tell me something? What was she trying to say? We were all a bit shaken by what happened with Igmund, but things were getting back to normal. Until Seal went out to collect logs and didn't return. I begged the others to help me search for her, but they feared they'd vanish too. Truth is, I didn't make it far myself. I thought I heard things in those woods. Even during the day, it felt like something was watching. When she showed up at the house again, I nearly fainted. I should have been relieved, but I felt haunted. Can a ghost take your hand? Make a meal? If she slept, I never saw it. I barely slept myself. The staring was the worst. Felt like she was always watching, smiling. When she'd blink, it was like one eye was a hair shy of the other. Gave me chills.
The performers nearby remind me of my travels. The urge to learn any songs they know is strong still. Yet I fulfilled my duty to the Hist in that regard years ago.
Crowns her head, tangled blankets as you fall in bed. Hot grease drips into the blazing fire. Grapes dangle his mouth open with desire. Blue velvet and golden trim about.
I miss roasting pupil scribs over a fire. So sweet and airy, with a hint of crunch.
We're out of meat and no hot meals. If those are luxuries to which you're accustomed, you can keep on moving and find another inn. What are you, some sort of adventurer? Yeah. Yeah, you look the part. Sorry I was short with you. Since Igmund passed, I've had to work twice as damned fool. He wanted to build a bonfire and drink the night away like we used to. Haven't seen Igmund down mead like that since we were barely men. He lost his legs and tumbled into the fire. Nothing but cinders left by the time I doused the blaze. Not so much of a scrap of clothing. Just black, tarry ashes. Never seen anything throw such a thick black smoke. But it didn't smell like you'd expect. Hair and burned flesh. More like old hay or musty linens. It wasn't natural. I want to know what happened to my brother. Whether he's alive or truly dead. Even if the truth says he really did die in that fire, at least I can put my doubts to rest. What do you wish to know? That's right. He'd gone to get supplies from Gideon. What should have been a couple of days turned into more than a week. I'd begun to fear that he'd been robbed and left for dead on the road, but he wandered back into town like nothing had happened. Said he got lost. As if he hadn't walked that road 1,000 times. I'd have accused him of gambling our money away on toad races, but he had every piece of gold he left with. How do you spend a week lost in the wood and not look worse for wear? Like he didn't have a care in the world. He seemed to be enjoying even the usual drudgery. Never thought I'd miss his belly aching over the chores, but he just didn't seem himself. No. Things were as they usually are in Farmer's Nook, uneventful. It's exciting times when our little inn sees more than a couple travelers in a month. Ever since Igmund got lost, things have been nothing but trouble. 2 others disappeared since Igmund, and all 3 were acting strange before they met untimely ends, if that's even what you could call it. No one wanders from the village now. Some folk are sleeping in my inn just to stick close.